Hi, my name is Anant and I welcome you to my YouTube channel 22 Yards. Today I am going to speak to you about one of my most favorite all-time players, Virender Sehwag. Virender Sehwag was one of a kind. One of the facts of his career is that in
But
his
he's gone for
playing
that.
day,
That was
Virender Sehwag
just
was the second quickest to reach 7,000 test runs in terms of number of innings played. He reached the landmark in 134 innings. Wally Hammond was the only one ahead of him at 131. Since then, Steve Smith has achieved this feat in 126 innings and stands at the top. Just to add a little bit of context to it, Sachin Tendulkar got to 7,000 runs in 136 innings and is followed by the great Gary Sobers at 138 innings. I find it absolutely remarkable since Sehwag got all these runs at a strike rate of above 80 runs to 100 balls. And not only that, he did it while he was opening. Most of these runs he got when he was opening the innings for India, which was a job that he was pitchforked to do since he was a middle order batsman. However, what leaves me completely puzzled and flummoxed is that while Sehwag was getting this mountain of runs at an enormous pace, wonderful consistency, and at a position, let us face it, no Indian batsman wanted to bat at, the then chairman of Selectors, Vengsarkar, thought it fit to drop him for a year. Sehwag was then not picked for the tour of Pakistan to India and Indian tour to Bangladesh and England. If I remember right, Dinesh Karthik was the player that was preferred ahead of him. I would like to add that Sehwag averaged almost 90 runs against Pakistan in all the test matches he played. So it is quite mind-blowing that Vengsarkar never even thought of picking up or selecting Sehwag for those test matches. The madness then continued as the team of 24 probables was announced for the Australian tour in 2008. Sehwag's name did not find mention in the name of the probables. It was then the Australian great Ian Chappell wrote a column in an Indian newspaper and he thought that Sehwag should be picked. He strongly advocated Sehwag's case in the column, saying that the only way for India to counter the aggressive and attacking tactics and more specifically of the searing pace of Brett Lee would be to have an attacking opener to face up to the Australians. Taking cue from this column, the redoubtable Anil Kumble, who was then the captain of the Indian team, literally had to beg Vengsarkar to have Sehwag picked in the side that toured Australia. Such was the angst against Sehwag at the time that he was not picked for the first two tests. Rahul Dravid was forced to open the innings and the unreliable Yuvraj Singh was picked ahead of Virender Sehwag. India lost both the test matches. Then it was in the tour match against Canberra that Sehwag was allowed to bat and he immediately scored 100. Based on this performance, he was picked up for his comeback against Sean Tate, Brett Lee and company on a pacey pitch, Perth wicket. Sehwag contributed with the bat in both the innings and India went on to record its first historic win in Perth. For the last test match, Sehwag got 151 in the third innings of the test match where no Indian batsman could even get past the score of 20. It was a remarkable innings and resulted in India saving that test match. What never ceases to amaze me is that it was Ian Chappell, an Australian, who had to write in favour of Sehwag to get him picked for the tour of Australia, and that eventually prevented his career from coming to an abrupt end. Our own Sunil Gavaskar, Ravi Shastri, Sanjay Manjrekar, or even Harsha Bhogle or Kapil Dev never wrote anything which opposed Vengsarkar's killing mission of obliterating the career of a batting genius. Anyways, the hatchet job that was started by Dilip Vengsarkar was eventually finished by his state mate Sandeep Patil, a known Sehwag hater and baiter, specifically brought in by the management to end Sehwag's career because he had begun to threaten Dhoni's captaincy. The moral of the story is that a career in sport is fraught with danger. You can have all the talent in the world and you can have performance to back it up. But if you fall in the wrong side of power, your career can be destroyed in a jiffy. I would like to end by saying something that is not really very nice. When Sehwag had made his comeback, he played one of the greatest innings ever played in the annals of Test cricket, scoring 200 runs against Sri Lanka in a Test match in Sri Lanka in a series where Ajanta Mendes and Muralidharan almost destroyed the entire top order of India. We won that Test match in Galle. But one of the lesser known facts of that Test match is that while he was batting on 199, he was batting with number 11 batsman, that was Ishant Sharma. He actually refused single because he did not want to expose Ishant Sharma for the entire over. This was one of the most selfless acts by this remarkable batsman, and I can almost guarantee you that had such a selfless act been committed or had been committed by a player who was from the state of Dilip Vengsarkar and Sandeep Patil, the commentary box would have bestowed sainthood on them. This is Anand Gupta signing off for 22 yards.